So you can begin.
Ich hätte auch vorgeschlagen, dass wir also zwei Sachen machen. Eines über die Bedeutung von Mayapur als heiliger Platz, nicht nur für die Devotees, sondern auch für die ganze Welt.
He makes a suggestion that we should do two things. One, to ask questions about Mayapur as a significant holy place, not only for the devotees, but for the people, karmis, who have never even heard of Mayapur.
Ja, und dazu vielleicht die Ausstellung, also was praktisch gemacht wird, also nicht spirituelle, sondern auch das
Then she says the second aspect of her questioning will be the practical side of it, like feeding the people here, like feeding people, what we are actually doing, like building these houses, feeding the people in the neighboring towns, or teaching them English, or teaching them how to cultivate the land, like that.
You take answer one after another,
Yes,
not put all the questions.
So you can.
Our ideal is that we have got this body and there are some bodily necessities. That is the prime necessities. So we do not neglect these necessities of the body. But our culture is spiritual culture. Generally, people being disturbed by the bodily necessities, they do not inquire about the spiritual identity. Actually, this is the distinction between human life and an animal life. Our real purpose of this mission is to educate people about his spiritual identity. All people, they are misguided by the idea that he is this body. Everyone, all over the world. Especially in the Western countries. Because rascal fools, they have no knowledge. Just like cats and dogs, animals. Do you admit this? Everyone is thinking that I am this body. That is rascal. They have not even this primary knowledge of spiritual identity. That he is not this body. Although he has got very practical experience that a child is getting another body as a boy, the boy is getting another body as a young man. Suppose I know I had a body of a child. I still remember when I was a child, 6 months old, I remember how I was lying down on the lap of my eldest sister. She was knitting and I was seeing. Very vividly I remember. Now where is that body? Tell me, where is that body? Now, sometimes I think that I was jumping as a boy and now I have to take the stick. So what is that, my jumping body? Tell me.
My body is
And that body is no longer existing. Is it not a fact?
I must change my body.
Change. The body has changed. But I remember that I had such a body. Therefore I am different from the body. I wish to possess again that body, to jump, but I cannot. This is the condition of my life. By nature's law, I am getting one body and I am changing to another body. This is going on. So as in this life, I have got this experience that I have changed my body. Similarly, the greatest authority Krishna says that when this body will be finished, he will get another body. Very simple thing. But these rascals do not understand. All these rascals, they do not understand. There is practical experience and there is authoritative statement, and still they do not know, and still they are big professors, big learned scholars, doctors, scientists, philosophers. What is this? Huh? What is that?
No knowledge.
That means everyone is in ignorance. And they are passing on as doctors, philosophers, scientists. This is the condition of the present civilization. Fools and rascals are passing on as doctor of philosophy, doctor of knowledge. First of all, you have to judge this.
But there are many gurus.
Huh?
They think there are many gurus now in the world. What is
Kannst du Deutsch?
some gurus, die Leute jetzt alles tun, alles Modernes
Ja.
Was
Was
sagen
sagen?
die? Ja.
He says there are many gurus and many people go there because it has become popular. So what do they say?
I do not bring in any guru. We are talking between ourselves. Don't bring any guru. Just talk as common man. So whether you agree to this point,
Understand?
there is no question of guru. It is a question of common sense.
Keine Frage von Gurus, allgemeines Wissen.
It's a very simple thing that I am changing my body. Similarly, I will change this body. This should be understood by my present circumstances of life, and it is confirmed by the greatest authority, Krishna. Knowledge by authority and knowledge by experience. Both things are there, and still these rascals do not understand. Knowledge is gathered by experience, and knowledge is gathered from the authority. Just like I asked my father, what is this? Father said, this is bell. But this is knowledge. I get it from my father. And by experience, when I push it, there is ringing. So I understand this is bell. The two sources of knowledge, by practical experience and by authority.
I must believe what my father says.
Yes, that I have to. I have to take knowledge from my mother, from my father. That is the beginning of knowledge. Intelligent boy asks, Father, what is this? And father explains. Mother gives the knowledge. Here is your father. So it is from authority. Otherwise, how you can experience who is your father? How do you get? Can you experiment with your father?
Yes, I asked my mother.
That is authority. That is not experiment. That is authority. Therefore, knowledge by authority and knowledge by experience. So, I am changing my body by experience. I was child, I was boy, I was young man, I was middle-aged, now I am old man. This is experience. And the authority says, as you have changed this body, similarly you change this body and get another body. This is authority. Then where is the lack of knowledge? The knowledge is already there in two ways, by experience and by authority.
This life means that I must have a better body in the next life.
What is that?
What is the question? Question to the body?
No, the question.
First of all, we have to understand that there are many sources of knowledge, but the summary is that knowledge gathered by experience and knowledge gathered through authority. So both knowledge is helping me about the change of body. So how can you deny it? And still, if you remain ignorant, then you are foolish. How we can say there is no life after death? I am giving you evidence by experience and by authority. Then mostly, perhaps you have got experience of it, especially in the Western countries. Here, if you ask ordinary cultivator, he'll believe, yes, there is life. They are philosophers. Yes, in my past life I did something wrong, therefore I am suffering. And if I do wrong, I will suffer in my next life. You get this knowledge even from the cultivator. This is India.
India has a knowledge.
Yes. Anyone is born in India, he has got immediately this knowledge. He immediately knows there is God. That is the advantage of taking birth in India. What it will take hundreds of years to understand, they understand it by the birth. You have seen so many thousands of people came. So, apart from this, the whole world, they do not believe that there is soul, and after annihilation of this body, we shall get another body, another chapter of life. They do not believe it.
Then she says, why do the philosophers not study in India?
There again the same question,
Why
because
do
they are
they-
rascals.
Are you sure?
Because they are rascals. They are speculating. They do not understand how knowledge is gathered. This is our charge. You refute it.
Das ist unser Herausforderung. This is unser Herausforderung.
There is one question comes from a lot of Indians, they know they are taking body again and again.
Huh?
They are taking the body again and again after birth. Why they are committing again and again sin, and which mode of nature?
Because they do not know how to stop this process. That is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. You can stop this. But again rascals, they will not take the method. Krishna said that if you simply try to understand me, Janma, why I appear and why I come here and work, karma, they are divine. The divine nature of Krishna's appearance, disappearance and activities, if one can understand, then immediately he becomes free from this process, takta deham punarjanmani. But the rascals will not do that. They will misunderstand Krishna. They will misdescribe Krishna. They will think Krishna is ordinary man. Gandhi will say that I don't think there was any person living as Krishna. And he is Mahatma. These things are going on. Mahatma is proving himself as the greatest rascal. This is your Mahatma, and what to speak of the Duratma. So you are being guided by this.
A lot of people, and before I come to your temple in Toronto, in our family nobody is eating the meat. Then I went west, I got it from this point, and I was misguided by the different philosophy. So, a lot of misguiding and misled.
And that is my rascal. Why I shall be misguided? I must know who is the right person.
I found from a lot of people in India, and usually they have all misguiding and misleading, their own adjusted, their own.
I have to gather knowledge from my superior. तुम्हारा क्या करना? बोलो. You came last night?
Huh? Last evening.
Last evening?
Yeah, yes.
What is your?
You told to come 9 o'clock. No.
Yes. What do you want to say?
I like to join.
Huh?
I like to join in the mission.
That's all right. You are welcome. You stay here with the devotees and learn.
I stayed in Madras for a month.
So you are staying here now?
I like to take.
Yes, stay. Make an arrangement that you can stay. That's all.
You can stay. You stay with us.
As other devotees are staying, you can stay.
But Akyanand Swami told me to come to Madras.
Huh?
Akyanand Swami told me to come to Madras.
So go to Madras, whatever you like. That's all.
He says, therefore does it mean that the solution has to come from India?
Yes. Solution has to come from Krishna. The book is there, solution. Bhagavad Gita. If you take it and practice it, the solution of all problems is So, you take any problem and find out the solution from Bhagavad Gita.
In the beginning, it's a little hard to explore things.
Hmm?
Am Anfang ist es ein bisschen schwer vielleicht, wenn man alles aufzugeben, aber dann wird es besser.
He says in the beginning it appears a little difficult to give up everything, but day by day it
Where is the
becomes
question
very
of
easy.
everything? Giving up. It is to understand. First of all, understand you what you are. First of all, you have to understand that you are not this body. You are something beyond this body.
You have some what you don't need.
Hmm?
What do you say?
brauchen gar nicht so viel, was wir eigentlich brauchen.
He says we do not require as much as we like to believe we do. We do not require the things that we believe we require.
What is the meaning of this?
Was meinen Sie dabei?
Ja, also Möbel, Familie und
It means,
Stellung und
it means
Geld.
apartment, furniture, money, family, and so many things. He says, he means that we don't require all these things.
I don't say that. I've never said this.
Er sagt das.
But only for furniture and apartment, if you forget yourself and act in such a way, then next life you become a dog, lie on the street, then what is the use of your furniture? You are getting next life. First of all, you understand that this is not the end of my life. I am eternal. I am changing my body. So, it is described as dress. Now, you may be dressed like a royal king, and next dress may be different. Maybe when it must be. And what are the examples of the dresses? So many living entities. So you must be cautious. So what kind of dress I am going to have next? Where is the science? Where is the school, college? If you remain only confident that I will go on with this dress perpetually, that is not the fact. You will have to change your dress. Tatha dehantara prapti. But we have no knowledge that what kind of dress I am going to have. It is a fact, I have already changed dress. I had a child dress, I had a boy's dress, I had a young man's dress. Now I've got old man's dress. Now Krishna says that this also you'll have to change. So why I am not inquiring what kind of dress I am going to have? And how I am changing this dress? So young man doesn't want to become old man. That's a fact. But if a young man says, no, I don't want old man's dress, will it be accepted? Nature will say, no, you must accept. Where is the remedy for this? Why these rascals do not understand that I am fully under the control of nature's law and I am declaring free, I am becoming philosopher. He is fully under the control of nature's law. You have read Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Pravita kriyamanani gunai karamani sarvas. You are fully under the control of the laws of nature and still you are thinking of independence. There is no superior controller. What is this nonsense? What is the answer? Is it not foolish? You appreciate that you are under the control of material nature and still you are thinking independent. What is this nonsense? I am in the prison house and the prison superintendent is controlling me fully, and if I say I don't care for anyone, what is this nonsense? Even in ordinary life, if somebody says, I don't care for government laws, I shall do whatever you like. Is it very good sense? Similarly, you are fully under the control of material nature and you are declaring independent. You should rather consider that why I have been put under the control of material nature. I don't want it. I don't want to be diseased. But why disease is forced upon me? I don't want to become old man. Why it is forced upon me? I don't want to die. Why death is forced upon me? This should be the proper question. But instead of question this, he is thinking I am independent. How much foolish he is?
So the solution for the world is Krishna consciousness.
Yes. That's what we are pushing on this movement. To make the rascals intelligent. That's it. The whole world is full of rascals and we want to make them intelligent. This is our Krishna consciousness. When you call them rascals, they become angry. Actually, they are rascals. They do not know the problems of life.
So her next question is that in the last few days, approximately 500 devotees have assembled here from all over the world. She says she knows that this is the birthplace of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore they have come. She knows that it is a holy place. She wants to know that even before Lord Chaitanya's time, was it also considered to be a holy place?
Yes, it is perpetually holy place, but it is known since the birthday of Lord Chaitanya. Just wait one second. The cats and dogs body. The cats and dogs, they cannot understand that life is beyond this body. But in the human form of life, one can understand. He has got such consciousness. So, by nature's law, by evolution, we come to the human form of body to understand this. And if we do not utilize this knowledge for understanding our real identity, then we remain cats and dogs, and we become again cats and dogs. By nature's law, I have been given this chance. If I do not utilize it properly, then again I become what I was before.
One has to be sincere. One has to be sincere to understand this.
And it is not the question of sincerity, it is the question of ignorance. If the father, mother, teacher, government does not know that how the people should be raised, then they remain in ignorance. Just like the child child is ignorant. But if he is not given the education,
Aber jetzt längst noch nicht die neue Generation.
She says now, in this movement, a new generation is being raised up, the children that we have in our schools and in our movement.
therefore we are educating children.
For the future.
Yes, future generation. Because the so-called educational institution, they produce only fools and rascals.
She says, you cannot change the society. We want to produce a new society.
No new society, a new
The point is whether...
status of consciousness.
Uh,
We don't want to change anything. We want to change the consciousness.
wir wollen nichts ändern, aber wir wollen das Bewusstsein ändern.
Because they are in ignorance.
She says it is a great service or a help for the world.
Yes.
She says she has noticed here that if a new person comes to Krishna consciousness, he can understand what he can actually do. For example, she was very impressed by the dance troupe last night, and then the night before, the devotees. She realized that they are dancing. She did not realize before that one can do just about anything for Krishna. And she says this place immediately gives that impression that anyone in any station, he can be engaged.
Yes. You are very intelligent. We can engage anyone to Krishna consciousness. It does not depend on particular education, status of life. It doesn't. Ahoituki. The exact Sanskrit word is ahoituki apratihata. Ahoituki means without any cause and without being checked. If anyone wants to be Krishna conscious, there is no impediment in the whole world which can check him.
Wenn jemand wirklich Krishna bewusst sein will, da gibt es gar nichts in der ganzen Welt, das ihn zurückhalten kann. Deshalb bedeutet es, es macht nichts aus, in welcher Position man sich befindet im Leben, aber es macht gar nichts aus.
Ja, auch wenn das Beste geben will, dann ist es vielleicht gut, wenn was gelernt hat, dann ist es bei Krishna steht.
Yes, she says if a person wants to give the best of himself, it is probably best to give that which he has learned throughout his life, to do it for Krishna.
Yes.
She says now to your books that I can answer this question for her later. She wants to know how many books are already finished and how much is more to come in the future. So that people,
there is no limit.
Yes.
But I wish to write at least 60 books. We have already finished
4 cantos.
4 cantos, and there are 8 cantos more.
Diary about, you mean like...
Was man so macht, ja, wie man so Fortschritte macht, wieder zurück Oder
Meinst du so wie das englische Buch, die komische von Hare Krishna? She says,
nein, schon was Ernsthaftes, was man
Ja.
wirklich so macht.
she says she wants to know if you think it would be worthwhile for her to write a book, something similar to the one that was written in America. It was called The Strange World of the Hare Krishna People. You've heard of it. But she says it's serious, not in the way it was written by her, because she is a journalist, and this is her natural inclination. That she's been here now since the beginning, and she is noting everything. So it is her natural tendency. Whether you think it is worthwhile for her to write a little book for the public.
It will be great service, provided you write nicely, right things.
Sagt, es wird ein großer Dienst sein.
To help you.
Yeah,
You understand?
people are in ignorance. 99%,
Easiest tired.
Yeah. Entire whole world. They are going on, they're fighting on this bodily concept of life. So, apart from fighting, of course, you cannot stop fighting, but at least a section of man must be in right knowledge. So, what I say, that in the Western countries, even the very high, topmost education is, they also do not believe that there is life after death. Is it not? Am I right or not?
Auch die höchste Intelligenz in der Welt, die glauben nicht, dass nach dem Leben.
So let's see how much ignorance is prevailing. So if you can dissipate this ignorance, darkness,
But it is stupid.
huh?
Was heißt Sinn? Es hat dann keinen Sinn im Leben, wenn man.
So then,
Ja?
he says, yes, if one thinks in this way, then life has no sense. There is no sense to it. If one does not believe in a life beyond
Yeah.
this life, and it is senseless.
Then I can murder all things, all bad things. Then it's no life after this.
He says, therefore,
Hmm?
therefore they feel anything can be done in this life, because in next life there is nothing.
Nothing. That I talked with big professors, they say like this. Here also the so-called Indian leaders, they are also thinking like that.
Habe ich auch gehört, dass an der Universität in Amerika über Krishna und Consciousness gelehrt wird. Stimmt das?
She says she has heard that in the universities in America, it is being taught about Krishna consciousness. In some of the universities, Krishna consciousness is being taught.
Yes.
It's the beginning.
Hmm. Just like Temple University, they have got this nectar of devotion. And many universities they are studying Krishna book, Bhagavatam. They are gradually accepting, at least the professors, teaching staff, they are accepting.
Allmählich akzeptieren die das mindestens.
They are studying as one side of views, not seriously.
Die studieren das von ihrer Seite aus, nur nicht ganz so ernsthaft, aber sie sind einfach.
Sie spekulieren.
They speculate still.
Yes.
Man muss also wieder wie ein Kind bleiben, ja?
She says, it appears that one has to become again as a child. Dass man das verstehen kann.
Ja.
She says that it appears to understand this teaching one has to become again as a child.
Yes.
Einfach, meinen Sie. Einfach.
Ja.
If he does not forget what he has learned, then it will be difficult.
Würde es zu einem Kampf kommen, also die Demons mit Devotees, also auf spiritueller Ebene, so wie bei Arjuna, oder wie wird das aussehen in der Zukunft? Oder ist es unwichtig?
She says, she asks whether it will come to a fight with the demons and the devotees like Arjuna, or is this question, in the future she means, or is this question not important?
The fight is already going on.
Der Kampf geht schon los.
You cannot stop fighting.
Man kann nicht kämpfen aufzuhören.
Und Chant Hare Krishna. We must chant Hare Krishna. We must chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that is the simplest way. That is the simplest way. If one sincerely chants Hare Krishna, he becomes enlightened.
Und das war ja die Hauptsache, die Lord Chaitanya den Menschen geschenkt hat, die Möglichkeiten auf Kali Yuga, eigentlich auf eine sehr einfache Weise.
Gott entgegnet.
Ja,
She says this is the main thing that Lord Chaitanya has given the people in this age, a simple process to approach
Yes,
God.
highest perfection. To reach the highest perfection. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special gift.
und was können wir also tun für den ganzen Weiterhelfen?
She has a conclusive question. She asks, what can we do to help the ganze Bewegung, the whole movement to continue to expand?
What help?
What she can do?
Yes, this Western country men, they are intelligent, so intelligently enlighten them. By intelligent statements, make a peaceful evolution.
But yeah, it's okay.
As these boys are changing their habits and their ideas, so similarly it can be done to the mass of people. Yeah.
Sie können das Ganze wieder zurückzugeben, das können Sie behalten.
Stop that only. Kripana bahudukha bhaya. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham tucham. This grihastha life is a concession for sex life. Otherwise there is no need of grihastha life. But everything can be used to make the best use of a bad bargain, that is another thing. Actually, to become free from all responsibility and anxieties, if one remains a brahmachari, that is very good. That is the recommendation of Shastra. But if you cannot, because the material world is going on under sex impulse, by nature the sex impulse is there, it will agitate you. But if you can control by becoming a rigid brahmachari, that is better. But it is difficult. Therefore, this concession is given. But what is this concession? The concession is sex life. Janmaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. Kanduyane na karayo ribadukha dukkham. It is a itching sensation. And after satisfying the itching sensation, there are so many responsibilities and trouble. But Tripanta neha kripana, those who are kripana, does not know how to utilize this life. So once I am taken to sex life and I am suffering so many after. Of course now to stop this suffering, they have invented this contraceptive method. He knows there is suffering. But they, to avoid this suffering, they are taking this contraceptive method. That is also suffering. That he does not know. Bhrunatya. Contraceptive method means killing the embryo. That is also another sinful. He is taking so much responsibility. So, either you take contraceptive method or do not take contraceptive method. If you do not take, then the child is born. Then you have to take responsibility. Now they are killing the child. In this way, becoming implicated. But if one is trained up to remain a rigid brahmachari, there is no trouble. Therefore it is said, Tippantane hakripana bahudukavaja kandutiva manasija vishayeta dhira. I know if I satisfy this itching sensation, I will be put into so much trouble after it. So if one is dhira, little sober, he will better suffer this itching sensation than to take the responsibility. This is the Shastric Indian.
Prabhupada, this in the world I come to know mostly, I never seen any except devotees, a true couple. Their marriage means a sex life. Except devotees, which after contacting, I haven't seen any.
Yeah, the whole world is going on. Married life means legalized prostitution. That is the philosophy. So therefore, in the Western world, they do not like to marry. This is also prostitution, that is also prostitution. So let us go on with our illegal prostitution. Why legal prostitution? This is the philosophy, and that is the Freud philosophy, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Even in Indians the same.
The Indians, European doesn't matter. The whole human society is like that.
His idea is, why should we make this sex life so cumbersome by marriage? Just
Yeah.
a
Avoid it.
natural thing, just to have sex.
We are following your principles for
Avoid it. They are regularly advertising. I have seen in Dallas, topless, bottomless, like that. What can be done? Murana bhagijanati, they do not know that behind everything there is a supreme power. He will punish. Never mind, he shall be punished. He will become dog. Oh, what is wrong if I become a dog? They say like that. What is wrong? He thinks that I will get good facilities for sex. There is no need of apartment. I save the rent to become a dog and have sex life on the street. It is good facility. This is going.
I have some few questions which I forgot to ask. Permit me, I can ask.
What is that question? You can answer.
I came in your temple first time in 1970 in Toronto, and that time I was just like other Indians what I think, but I